Ronda Rousey is making her long-awaited return to mixed martial arts May 16th to face another titan of the cage, Gina Carano, for the very first time. The fight's generating buzz, but these celebs probably aren't too excited, except to see Rousey take a few knocks. Miesha Tate's UFC rivalry with Rousey has been credited with putting women's MMA on the map. Years later, Tate confirmed their distaste for one another wasn't scripted.
But I mean, it's not like her and I were meeting up and planning it out. No, it was like I just genuinely couldn't stand her, you know?
The two regularly traded barbs in and out of the ring. Rousey won both of their fights in 2012 and 2013, but that didn't stop Tate from tearing down Rousey and saying she was being unfairly put on a pedestal. Tate told Fox Sports in 2013, "Every single woman that fights MMA has done just as much work as Ronda has. We just haven't got as much turnaround. She got 10 times back what she was putting in, and maybe everyone else was getting 1-to-1. 3 years later, when Rousey was retiring from UFC, Tate didn't soften her stance. She said Rousey's poor sportsmanship always rubbed her the wrong way. She told SiriusXM's Rush Fight Club, "I think Ronda is somewhat emotionally unstable, and I think that's been characteristic for a long time." Rousey's UFC career made her a huge celebrity, which she parlayed into a TV and film career, for a while anyway. In 2013, as she was starting to make that transition, Rousey was one of 2 coaches on the reality series The Ultimate Fighter, with the other being her rival Miesha Tate. The series also featured guest stars, including MMA fighter Dennis Hallman, who showed up to help Tate's team. That did put him at odds with Rousey, but other things did too. The following year, on the radio show Dirty's MMA Corner, Hallman recorded an altercation he claimed happened between Rousey and the producer over late payments. He was not impressed by what he recorded as Rousey telling the apologetic producer, "You shut your mouth when I'm talking to you." Hallman echoed Tate's assessment, saying, "I do think that Ronda has some sort of mental health issue. It's either that or she's severely immature. She acts like a 14-year-old boy trapped in a woman's body, always trying to make everything think that she's tough when really she's not sure of herself." When Donald Trump was running for his first term as president in 2015, CNN asked if he would support women holding combat roles in the military. Trump said he would and name-checked Ronda Rousey as a prime example of women who can fight, saying, "I'll take her on my side as a fighter." Trump's statement came in spite of Rousey stating she wouldn't vote for him.
I just really wouldn't trust that guy with running my country, that's all.
Rousey wound up publicly backing Bernie Sanders' campaign instead. Trump must have eventually caught wind of her comments because his tune changed dramatically over the next few months. That November, Rousey dramatically lost a UFC fight for the first time ever. He wrote on X, "Glad to see that Ronda Rousey lost her championship fight last night. Was soundly beaten. Not a nice person." Things don't seem to have changed much between the two over the years. On the podcast, The Lapsed Fan, she was asked if she'd want to take part in the planned UFC event at the White House in June 2026. She replied, "I'm not fighting at the White House. I got better shit to do." Rousey's dramatic loss to Holly Holm in November 2015 also caught the attention of 50 Cent. On Instagram, the rapper responded to Rousey getting knocked out with a kick by posting a now-deleted meme of the scene from Rocky IV, in which Apollo Creed is killed in the ring by Ivan Drago.
If he dies, he dies.
In 50 Cent's version, Creed was replaced by an unconscious Rousey. The distasteful post was accompanied by an equally bizarre caption, which stated that Floyd told him to post it and do the dirty work. While that's plausible, given that Rousey has repeatedly shaded boxer Floyd Mayweather, Mayweather himself denied the rapper's claims, telling FightHype.com, "That's not true at all. I haven't really spoke to anyone about the Ronda Rousey situation. It seems 50 Cent was the one holding the ill will towards Rousey all along." Before her November 2015 knockout, Rousey had a perfect 12-0 record in MMA. A lot of folks thought Rousey was perhaps a little too dominant and full of herself because many fans celebrated her loss. One particularly high-profile fan in that group was singer Lady Gaga, who disliked that Rousey refused to touch gloves with Holm, the typical show of respect between fighters before their bout. Rousey explained that she'd rather not touch gloves than do something disingenuous just for show. Gaga was one of the viewers who believed Rousey got what she deserved in the end, that her loss came from bad karma. On Instagram, the singer wrote, "That's what you get for not touching gloves." Yet another high-profile viewer who weighed in on Rousey's loss to Hallman was boxer Laila Ali, daughter of the legendary former boxing champ Muhammad Ali. When TMZ Sports asked Laila about Rousey's defeat, she said Hallman was clearly the better fighter, adding, "She's a talented boxer, she's a world champion, she's got an MMA background, and obviously was no chump." Asked what Rousey could have done to improve her chances of winning, Laila threw more shade, asking, "Where do I begin?" Laila also called Rousey's overall talent into question, stating, "In order to be the best in the world, you definitely don't ever get beat up like that in your prime, period." Laila added that a rematch between the two was unnecessary because the outcome would likely be the same, if not worse for Rousey. Brazilian fighter Bethe Correia took trash talk to the next level ahead of her 2015 fight against Rousey. In the lead-up to the fight, which took place in Correia's home country, she called the then-champion a farce and said she would prove it. Correia added, "I'll give you the biggest beating of your life. I'll make you suffer pain. I'll make you cry in pain. I'll humiliate you, and you'll leave your belt here." Correia didn't quite live up to her word, though. Rousey ended up trouncing her in just 34 seconds. Rousey also turned her words back on her. During their weigh-in, Correia repeatedly told Rousey, "Don't cry." Rousey's final words upon putting Correia down were the same.
Was there anything surprising to you about this fight?
No, not really. It was kind of how expected.
With that much animosity between them, it's no wonder Correia celebrated Holly Holm's takedown of Rousey later that year. She told MMAfighting.com, "Ronda was overrated. We just needed someone to get in there and kill her game. It was boring to have her there because I know how fake she is." A fight that fans wanted to see for a long time but never came to fruition was between Rousey and another Brazilian fighter, Cristiane Gestiano, aka Cris Cyborg. Rousey told Howard Stern the fight would probably never happen because they were in different weight classes. She said, "I'm not going to do backflips for a cheating con artist. She's very obviously been abusing performance-enhancing drugs for a very long time."
If you're pumped full of steroids and the lightest you can get is 145, then if you're clean, it's assumed that you could get lighter.
Cyborg had been caught doping in 2012, but has not had any violations since. 2012 was also the year that Rousey took another shot at Cyborg, saying in a tweet that the Brazilian fighter was a man. In 2016, when Rousey retired from UFC, Cyborg screenshotted the tweet and shared it on Facebook, calling Rousey a bully who put fame above sportsmanship. Cyborg wrote, "Our lasting memory will be measured not by how many times we defended some belt or promotion created for us, but the amount of love and compassion we've shared within our communities." Cyborg also told TMZ Sports that year that she's ready to go whenever Rousey is. She said she would, quote, "put everything she's saying about me in my hands." Rousey signed a full-time WWE contract in 2017. By 2019, Rousey was headlining WrestleMania 35 alongside Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It was the first time ever women main-evented WWE's biggest show of the year. What should have been a crowning moment for all three women devolved into a lot of pointed social media sniping, specifically between Lynch and Rousey. At one point, Lynch told Rousey, "Concentrate on getting better at this business instead of trying to remain above it." Rousey clapped back by calling her Lynch's moves fake and using her real name, writing, "Rebecca Quinn, I don't care what the script says. I'm beating the living out of you the next time I see you." Soon enough, Rousey was back on Twitter going after the entire WWE, saying she could beat anyone on the roster in a real fight. Lynch wasn't having it, calling Rousey ungrateful for the unique opportunity she got.
Came in, was handed everything, made her debut at WrestleMania, having never earned her way into this business.
Lynch ultimately got the win at WrestleMania 35, pinning Rousey. It came with controversy though. Rousey briefly lifted her shoulders off the mat during the pin. Rousey became more publicly positive about WWE after WrestleMania 35, but interviews after she left the company in 2023 revealed she wasn't truly happy behind the scenes.
Why is this multi-billion-dollar company not putting any time or effort into preparation?
Her comments ruffled quite a few feathers, including those of WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, who said on his podcast in September 2025,
"I think the wrestling world opened the doors to her, and she just spit in the face of professional wrestling."
Booker continued that there's a reason why people don't like Rousey, stating that she only cares about herself. A month later, Booker took aim at Rousey again, calling her bitter and adding, I don't think the wrestling world is going to embrace her ever again. When Alexa Bliss and Ronda Rousey met in a WWE ring at SummerSlam in 2018, Rousey came out on top, taking home the Raw Women's Championship. The two faced off again in a rematch at Hell in a Cell, which Rousey again won. But Rousey thought that wrestling Bliss, who is considerably smaller than her, was laughable to begin with. She said on The Lapsed Fan in 2025, "The fact that they had me fighting Alexa Bliss at all was ridiculous. You want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? Because she had the most merch sales at the time." 2 days later, Bliss appeared to address the comments with a cheeky X-post that read, "I love our business," paired with a black heart emoji. Bliss got support from other wrestlers, including rival promotion AEW's Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He responded to Rousey's comments with his own sarcastic X-post, writing, "It's almost like pro wrestling, much like any professional sport, functions as a business." Long before Rousey was a household name, she was a 2008 Olympian in judo and aspiring MMA fighter. In 2010, she started working with manager Darin Harvey, but their working relationship came to an end in 2014. Harvey actually sued Rousey for around $170,000, claiming that was what she owed him for his work with her. Harvey told Pro MMA Now, "I am not a litigious person, but I never thought for a moment that once she made it to the top, Ronda would turn her back on us and refuse to honor her legal and moral obligations." In 2015, Harvey claimed to USA Today that he never got the recognition he deserved for helping to make Rousey a champion. He said, "I created a monster. She believed she was as special as the press made her out to be." Noting he couldn't believe Rousey would forget about him and all his hard work, Harvey said she was not a good person. They settled their lawsuit in 2016.